Q approach, community capacity building approach, industrial sector approach, integrated system approach, human development approach, green account approach, conclusion, glossary, reference. Answer, check your progress. After reading this unit, you will should be able to explain the status Q approach, discuss the community capacity building approach, examine the industrial sector approach, describe the integrated system approach, elucidate the human development approach, and bring out the relevance of green account approach. Introduction. Although sustainable development SD concept was conceived in the 1970s, became the center point of the development discovers the World Commission on Environment and Development in 1987, WCED, our Bernal Commission, and a report of our common future culminate in a sustainable development goals SDGs in 2015. In 1992, SDGs were defined by UN, but the national were mostly unsuccessful in moving towards their achievement. The world leader came together in 2012 and developed a framework to achieve Millennium Development Goal (MDGs), but they could not set the agenda for achieve any sustainable development goals. We will deal with the SDGs in detail in our next unit, the highest level plan in global sustainable development framework for universal principle SD. We are given below. It should be universal character conveying changing faced by the countries rather than just developing nation. It should be expressed broadly agreed global strategy for sustainable development. It should be incorporate range of key area that were not fully covered in the MDGs. It should be comprehensive, reflecting all the three dimensions of SD. It should incorporate near-term benchmark while being long-term in scope. Look ahead to a deadline of perhaps 2030. It should engage all the stakeholders in the implementation and mobilization of resources. It should be provide scope of the review of these goals in view of evaluating scientific 11 UN 2030. In 2015, the UN leads down 17 SDGs under which 169 indicators have been developed for the nation to follow. 193 members national pledged to the work under the umbrella of SDGs, of which India is also the participating member. This unit deals with the approaches to SDGs, which there are numerous approaches, but only the major one will be the delta in this unit. Stat Q approach. The supporting of the status quo approach believe there is no need for marketing and fundamental changes, as there is no such problems that are impossible to solve. Although changes are required, which can be made by making adjustment, there is no imperative needs to change the means of decision making or power relation. Hopwood 2005. This based on the human tendency of stick to what they know and their general resistance to change. Another factor, the contribution of state Q is a lock-in mechanism that exciting systems have to establish. Selection for alternative become difficult because of inertia generated by the growing benefit through the ongoing activities. The fundamental in approaches are number one, more growth will lead to SD and support the decision for the government to reduce the progressive nature of taxation. Number two, business is the driver to sustainability. Number 3, the best mean to achieve SDR, ingredient, information, changing values, new technologies and innovation. Market will use sustainable process to produce goods and service by the employing changes in taxation and subsidies by being well informed. The reduced role of government will lead to the emergency of green capacity, capitalists who will include in corporate citizenship and ethnic business to the achieve SG. Increase the good governance on one hand and reduction of corruption on the other will help the increase in closer sustainability. Technique like EIA, Environment Impact Assessment, EMAS, Eco Management and Audit System, BAT, Best Available Technique of Entail Existing Cost and Cost Benefit Analysis, CBA can help attending XD. The supporting of Q approach has not been known as having strong communities in environmental stability. As think of technology as a replacement of nature, although this approach has been acknowledged by this World Bank as an approach reduce poverty. It is does not talk about strong shift in policy approach for SD. Community capacity building approach. The community capacity building or the CCB approach propose skill development and increase the knowledge based in the population living below the poverty line. They needs to be enabled with the skills and knowledge to become gainful involved in a community so that they can contribute the society. SD categorized to the measure of rural population and ABCD model of for the foundation aims at acquire development more to transfer according to generation. The building of asset give below are three main areas CCB approach where the ABCD model can be applied. Number 1, resource. The financial hold natural resource, forest, wildlife, and the livestock and provide sustainable livelihood. They had to culture and environmental importance in cleaning, recycling, and renewing airways. UN 2013. Number 2, social bond. The social bond and community relationship encourage investment of the community in providing support to the poor. Number 3, human assist. The human assist refers to skill in the individual which can get them employment and wages in the rural areas. Understand this model, many achievement and progress have been successful, launched in which sustainability derive have been carried out. For example, the organizing a clean drive by paying or the small donation to the street people who bring empty can and plastic bottle. These are two purpose. That is a sustainable as well providing for the poor the kind of participatory CCB approach has a helping the rural poor around the world while integrated three dimensions of sustainable development social, economic, and environmental. In the new agenda published by UN National Regard SDG, as it has been clearly stated that the most vulnerable must be empowered. These who need it are reflected in agenda including all children, youth, persons with disabilities, of whom 18% live in poverty. People live in HIV, AIDS, older people, indigenous people, refugees, and internally displaced persons and migrants. UN 2015, the implementation of SDGs will record a global participation by the involving the government, private sector, and UN system and the civil society. The new agenda also stated that UN will work with the local authorities, the communities to renew the plan, our cities and human settlement. Also fostering community cohesion and personal security and stimulate innovation and employment. Industrial sector approach. The industrial sector approach commonly refers to the industry approach, implies that the industry or business has an important role in addressing the implementation and achievement of the SDGs. Industry sector approach fall under the integrated system approach in a way because three components of SD have to achieve simultaneously. Even if one component is neglected, it will have uh, components of SD have be achieved simultaneously. Even if one component is neglected, it will have an adverse impact on the other two, thereby in getting the positive impact. The private sector being highlighted as a partner with the potential to contribute the multiple ways to develop objects, which are 1. Stimulating economic growth and job creation, 2. Providing investment and finance, and 3. Sharing the resource and knowledge needed to the shape involved solutions to global changes. The SDGs provide a focus for the world effort to meet the global challenges including climate change, the SDGs provide a focus of the world effort to meet global challenges, including climate change, water management, and sanitation, and equitable education. The private sector has been capability to commercial to sustainable solution and help in the achievement of SDGs. Van and John 2020, the UN agencies have ungraded private industry houses of formulate their strategic frame according to the SDGs. Sustainable Industry Development SID means the business the industrial will have adjusted protection structure and is produced means European Commission 1999, to which the industrial policy must assist the process and increase the interrelationship among the environment, industrial policy, and promotion of role of industry is an important basic element in the achievement SID. The industry policy of the environment are two important components for SD result in the integrated level of innovation and industrial competitivity. This will further open up more opportunity for employment and help in social economic development. The consumer have become aware of ethical and sustainable products, and the more options they get, they more campaign with able to make profit. There is a immense scope in development of efficient innovative energy technology as well as reducing of greenhouse gases emission and waste. Some other areas of meeting goals SDR health, education, sanitation, finance, communication product, many theoretical frame and connected to the natural environment society have been made the roadmap of sustainability. And more important industry that can help in a finance industry by leading rather than reacting issue raising out sustainability or sustainability. The industry sector that can be related to the SDG are focusing on reality industry, SDG 12, sustainable consumption and production by sourcing sustainable production from the manufacturers and supply them the consumer there through the company. For example, fab in their sourcing material directly from the handloom workers and sell it through the its chain for China stores. Bank industries can provide from financial products which can cover many goals that needs to the address. Number two, use of energy efficiency, air condition, smart bulb, renewable energy solution like solar panels like SDGs 7 in view and emphasis on education industry, school, college, university with SDGs 4. This above mentioned example despite how SDGs can be achieved through the systematic integration. Way of achievement SDG is the industrial sector approach. The two main ways through the SDGs can be achieved: the responsible entrepreneurship, eco-efficiently. They are briefly explained below. Responsible relationship. According to the UN, companies can manage their operations so that economical growth and competitiveness can be strengthened while keeping focus on environmental protection and social responsibility. This can be seen in the strategies and operation of various companies around the world, which have progressed from the acting under the government regulatory pressure to voluntary changes because of consumer awareness. This goal can be achieved only through the responsible entrepreneurship using new approach for eco-efficiently by integrated environmental concern into their management strategy and planning. Technologies like eco-efficiency, life cycle thinking and sustainable product design help in the implementation SDGs. The company conduct the cost benefit analysis to appraise the cost benefit environmental action and to make presentation to their shareholders through the environmental accounting and environmental reporting. International best practice have helped in the formulating indicators for the performance assessment and benchmark to be achieved. Eco-efficiency. Responsible entrepreneurship compare of the eco-efficiency as a business strategy as it is combined of the economic and environment aspect. The eco-efficiency strategies aim at reducing non-renewable resource waste, etc., thereby resulting the ingredient service intensity of goods and service. The government also follows the strategy for eco-efficiency and has made it important element SD policy strategies. Principle for environment manager for industry. The principle for environment manager have been formulated. The industrial compare of Woodland 1992. It too should be used to a basic for purchasing importance of surpassing cost of SD. They are given below brief. 1. Corporate priority. The corporate sector must ensure the policies, programs and practice their own operation must be aligned with the environment management. Number 2. Integrated management. These policies, programs and practice must be an integral part of the management function. Process of uh, impo- uh, process of improvement. The business and the continues make effort to the improve their process. According the globe concern environmental perform by using the following: technological development, scientific understand, consumer needs and community expectation. Number 4, employee education. The employee must be educated, trained and kept motivated so that they are able to operate in an environmental responsibility manner. Pioneer assessment. The manufacturing, consuming of products and service must be assessed pioneer to their final supply to the end user to that the environmental and sustainability concern to the address. Number 6, customer advice. The customer must be advised on the safe use, transportation, storage and dispose of the product. And number 7, facilitating operations. There must be efficient use to energy and material, sustainable use to renewable resource and reduce adverse environmental impact. Efficient waste management also must be done. Number 8, precautionary approach. Care must be taken to avoid irreversible environment damage by the companies in the manufacture, marketing and uses of product to the conduct of activities as per the latest technology and scientific temper. Number 9, research. The company must carry out the research on the efficiency of industrial operations involve the raw materials, product, emission and waste on the environment. If any adverse effect is found, it must be correct and the approach must be rigid, readjusted. Transfer of technology. The companies who have the environment friendly technology must transfer technology to those who do not have access to it. The UN has stated that promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization is the key to SD. It has been stressed on critical importance of industrial development for developing countries as a major source of economic growth, economic diversification and value addition. It has also focused on promoting inclusive and sustainable industrial development to efficiently address the major challenges such as growth and job, resources, energy efficiency, pollution and climate changes, knowledge sharing, innovation and social inclusion. In this regard, relevant cooperation within the United Nations system include the United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO, which would help in advertising the linkage between infrastructure development, inclusive and sustainable industrialization and innovation. Check the progress. Write a short note of the universal principle of sustainable development. The principle should be universal in character, converting challenges faced by the countries rather than just developing nation. Number two, it should express the body, arrange the global strategy for the sustainable development. Number three, it should incorporate range of key areas where the fully covered the MDG. It should be compare reflected three dimension of SD. It should incorporate near-term benchmark while being long-term scope looking ahead to a deadline of perhaps 2013. It should engage all the stakeholders in the implication mobilization of resource. It should be provide scope of the review of these goals in view of involve the scientific evidence. Discuss the detail of sustainable Q approach sustainable development. More growth will the SD support decision the government to the reduce the progressive nature of taxation. Business is the driven sustainability. The best mean of achieve SD are ingredient information, changing value, new technology and innovation. Market will use sustainable process to produce goods and service by employing changes taxation and subsidies and by being the waste information. The reduction role of government will lead to the emergency of great capacity who will include cooperating citizen, ethnic business and HSD. Increasing the good government on the one hand and reducing corruption on the other will help the reaching closer sustainability. Technique like IEA, Environment Impact Assessment, and EMI, Eco Management Audio System explain the dimension of community capacity building approach sustainable development. ABCD model of CCB on the application. Number 1, resource. The functional order natural resource, forest, wildlife, and the living stock can be provide sustainable livelihood. They have to cultural and environmental important, clean, recycling and renewing air and water. Social bond. The social bond are community relationship encourage investment of the community. It provides supporting to the poor. Human assist. The human associated refers to the skill in the individual which can be get the employment and wastage of the areas. Describe the industrial sector approach to sustainable development. To private sector has been highlighted as a part with the potential to the contribute the multiple way of development object. Sustainable industry development SID means the business and industry will have the adjusted production structure and with product mix. Way of the achievement SDGs in the industrial structure approach responsible entrepreneurship and coefficient. Principles of environment of the industries. 1. Corporate priority. Number 2. Integrated management. Number 3. Process of improvement. Number 4. Employee education. Number 5. Pioneer assessment. Number 6. Customer advice. Number 7. Facilitator and operation. Number 8. Precautionary approach. Number 9. Research. Number 10. Refer to the technology. Integrated system approach. The integrated system approach refers to design the adopting of the SD strategies and plan which integrate environmental, social and economic dimensions and recognizing the linkage. The UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs UN DESA stated in published report there was a lack of integration, inclusion and cohesion because national mostly focus on economic growth and poverty reduction. The planned approach work in silo instead of addressing complex problems of society regarding environmental and sustainable development issue. The government need to consider the interlinkage between system and their subsystem, for example water, energy, ecosystem and their impact like climate changes in future. It also said to the traditional sector based approach and tools are not fit for this purpose. As the challenges more complex and systematic nature. This is the basis of the important is the integrated system approach, ISA and SD planning and statutory formation, UN 2050. Some scholars and strategies have given translation approach as in a separate approach, but in fact translation is a part of ISA unless there is a transition from the traditional method. It will be difficult to reach any closer to the SDG Agenda 2030. The area for transition led down the UN are given below. Number 1, supportive political system. Number 2, efficient planning agency. Number 3, access to information. Number 4, strong UN system. Number 5, conscious coordination. Number 6, capacity building for the media and civil society. Number 7, members in the multilateral agencies. And number 8, education in school. Issue in transition. Transition is a never easy process and focus many challenges. Some major factors in immediate transition towards SDR. 1. Deficient participation of stakeholders. Number 2, corruption. Number 3, shock and insecurity. Number 4, lack of finance and debates. Number 5, instability and industrial and external conflicts. Number 6, gap in knowledge. Number 7, resistance to change. Number 8, lack of transparency. Number 9, recognizing of civil society. Number 10, lack of database. And number 10, youth employees. The above mentioned factor hinder the transition toward SD must be considered by the international agencies and the national before formulating policies and implementing regarding SDGs. A system approach is essential because of the resulting negative feedback from the working in the sales, that is an isolation. For example, boosting economic growth without the social and the environment consideration. This ISA is the best solution of implementation SD because of the following reasons. Number one, holistic. The Earth-like support system comprises of land, climate, and ways in which the human habit is part of the world. There is need to look at the eco chain. Holistic as a climate changes in wreaking havoc both socially and economically. For example, flood or droughts lead in a famines and diseases adversely affect the society as a whole. The poor became poorer and rich became richer leads to social injustice. Local consideration. The geographical portion of countries or the region has its own peculiar problems and one single policy cannot effectively implement SDGs. It is important to have data about place on count of the geography, time span, cultural norms, etc. However, global impact cannot be materialized by local individual effort. Number 3. Combined effort of via synergy. Synergy means the combined efforts of two or more than two agencies who work for more than SDGs for the better result. ISA. There can be cost saving if more than SDGs is a target for achievement simultaneously, but European Union estimate in the study that integrated climate legislation could have 15 billion a year. Healthy cost and direct costs are related to environmental degradation, future Earth in 2090. Local consideration. The geographical potential of country has its own particular problems. In one single poly can efficient implement SDGs. It is important to have a data about place on the conveys of geography, time span, cultural norms, etc. However, global impact cannot be materialized by local individual effort. Combined effort visa synergram. Synergram means the combined effort of two or more than two agencies who work for more than one SDGs. For better result in ISA, there can be cost saving if more than one SDG target for achievement simultaneously. The European Union estimate in a study the integrated system region could have 15 billion a year in health costs and direct costs related to environmental degradation future at 2090. Implementation of ISA. The Future Earth Group is international agencies that work in dimension design and solution of the acceleration of global sustainability is proceed the 7-point scale to help the government to access the efficient potential executive policy. Given below are the 7 points indicator of assessment of these SDGs integrations. A scale or score SDG integration. Interaction, name, expansion. Plus 3. Invisibility. In the capability linked to the achievement of another goal. Plus 2. Reforms, aids and achievement. Integration plus 3 വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നയം വന്നിട്ട് ഇൻവിസിബിൾ ആണ്. എക്സ്പാൻസീവ് വന്നിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാ capability linked to the achievement of answer goal. Another goal. Plus 2 നയം വന്നിട്ട് റെയിൻഫോഴ്സ് എയ്ഡ്സ് അച്ചീവ്മെൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് അനദർ ഗോൾ എന്ന് പറയും. +1 ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനിൽ +1 ആണെങ്കിൽ നയം വന്ന് എനേബിളിങ് എക്സ്പ്ലാൻഷൻ വന്ന് ക്രിയേറ്റ് കണ്ടീഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ഫർദർ അറൗണ്ട് ഗോൾ. 0 ആണ് കൺസിസ്റ്റൻ്റ് ആണ്, നോ സിഗ്നിഫൈൻ പോസിറ്റീവ് ഓർ നെഗറ്റീവ് ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ. ഇനി ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനിൽ -1 നൈം കോൺസെൻട്രേറ്റിംഗ് ആണ്. അവളെ എക്സ്പ്ലാൻഷൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ ലിമിറ്റ്സ് ഓപ്ഷൻ ഓഫ് അനദർ ഗോൾ -2 ആയിട്ട് കാണിച്ച് ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനിൽ കാണിച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പം നൈം വന്നിട്ട് കോൺട്രാക്റ്റിങ് അല്ല എക്സ്പ്ലാനേഷൻ വന്നിട്ട് പറയുന്നത് ഫ്ലാഷ് വിസ് അനദർ ഗോൾ ആയതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അവിടെ -2 വന്നത്. -3 വരാൻ കാരണം ഇൻട്രാക്ഷനിൽ ക്യാൻസലിങ് അതിൽ എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷൻ പറയുന്നത് വെച്ചാൽ മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ഇമ്പോസിബിൾ ടു റീച്ച് അനദർ ഗോൾ. The examples given in the future Earth is appropriate to explain the 7 points scale of reducing air pollution. The system approach does not propose the concentrated exclusivity in SDGs, but acknowledge the macro level characteristics of system like social, ecology relations, dynamic link across sector, accord and countries must be developed. For example, in financial sector, tax break could be established for private companies in high income countries that make very long term investment, returning measured over the decades rather than quarterly in lower income countries to create locally sustainable products and services with the partnership and enable their economic to grow. Improve such connections across the sector. Actors and countries can relieve a varieties of creative means to improve system SDG implementation. Search for Smith. The SDGs are fruitless if not implemented successfully. The best way that have emerged till now has been integrated system approach. The 2020 agenda in para 6 stated that it is invisible in the sense that it must be implemented. Human development approach. Human development refers well-being the human, which is the integrated goal for any society. The government of to achieve human well-being called subjective. Well-being SWB causes individuals have their own perception of happiness and will the well-being through the world according the World Cup survey, which cover 98% population. The World Happiness Report is made by the United Nations Sustainable Solution Network. Human development is process and the same time. A result focus on a result wider possibility to choose possibilities to choose. It can be defined in the east way proceed to expanding options. Every day, a human being make a series of economic, social, political, and cultural choice. The ultimate goal of human development is not to create, generate wealth or achieve greater economic growth, but the expansion of choose for every human being. Human Development Report 2001. The World Happiness Report WHR 2020, that is the 8th report of focus especially on the social, urban, national aspect of environment. The purpose of WHR is renew the science of the measuring and understanding SWB and survey measure of life satisfaction to track qualities of lives in more than 150 countries. Their main goal is evaluate social environment for the business. Main area of focus in WHR. Given below the major areas of WHR focus on. Number 1. Social environment happiness. The report uses 6 factors to explain happiness to measure of development aspect of social environment. There are having someone to count on, having sense of freedom to make the life decision, generosity, trust, efficient inequality or average happiness, and how good social environment opportunities reduce inequalities. Urban happiness. The happiness of city life can be compared among the cities in same countries. The WHR found the cities ranking. The country ranking will essentially identical city dweller with happier than those. Living outside the cities, although the urban happiness advantages was something neglected. Sustainable natural environment. People became more aware and conscious about their natural environment and want to protect it. The WHO noted for survey that various populated have been negative effect on the life evaluation. Although forests have positive effect on life evaluation, they have none on emotions. According to their survey conducted in London on link of natural environment and happiest among the people. It was the foundation that people report being happy mostly when they were close to the river, canal, public park, or doing something activities like bridge watch, walking in public park, etc. in comparison to be the sedentary at home. Number 4. Sustainable development, human well-being. The WHO has given information on the relationship between SD and well-being. The SWB, as I mentioned before, is a measure of well-being. The survey responsible may differ from emotional measurement of well-being, comparison of economic measures such as incoming development, the evaluation of SDGs in related well-being. Other indicators are like Human Development Index, indication of economic freedom, Global Peace Index, Global Community Index, Environmental Protection Index, EPA, and the Gross Domestic Product (GDP) per capita. The Human Development Index (DI) measure the level of welfare and country be looking at 3 indicators. Number 1, life expansion indicator. Refer life expansion by at birth. Education attainment indicator. Refer the adult literacy rate and gross enrollment ratio. Number 3, standing life measurement GDP capita. The result of surveying should be SDG indicator remains significant allocates EPI GDP per capita. Hence, the human development approach helps in the making progress in terms of SDG and benefit the people. The plan is approach helping dimension with SDG must be focused upon the more considering restriction budget. Although SDGs is important. Green account approach. All nations are making an effort to build green economy. This significant human well-being are social inequality together, the reducing environment risk, ecological scarcity, the developing countries the issues has grew economic gain attention. The green account approach refers to national account to incorporate environment externalities. They help us understand the impact of our social, political, and economic actors on environment. The concept of green account consider the environment damage this is caused by the activity in humankind, but is not indication traditional accounting system. The conventional national accounting system does not cater to the SD issues. These issues were resolved by Paul P. Karg and Hardroms Galkar by the proposing the transfer model approach is indicated green account approach in the pursuit of SD, although there have been numerous studies model of the topic. The approach emphasizes stock flaws among the biogeographical aspect to given meaning and content of the green account. Sustainable utilization refers to the spending interact while keeping the capital. Certain basis condition must be granted in the biogeographical term that compare of stock and flows from the example. Habitat, healthy food, clean water, etc. The sustain the species. Principles of SD. Harmondale and economics give two principal gate SD, which are harvest rates must be equal to lower than regeneration rate, sustained yield, and number two, the weight assumption rate must be equal to lower than natural estimate capacity of the ecosystem in which they are emitted. The principles are distinct from the traditional economic indicator because of three biogeography factor. Green accounting cannot related to the renewable resource. The transfer model approach suggestion incorporation multiple world views of craze. Explain the integrated approach sustainable development. The integrated system approach refers to the design the adopting the SD strategies plans which integrate environment, social and economic dimension recognize the linkage. Number two, the UN has given the refer the transition. Number three, refers issue in transition. Number four, important integration system approach. Number five, implementation of integrated system approach. Yeah, describe the human development approach, sustainable livelihoods. Human development refers to the human well-being, which is an integral goal for any society of a government to achieve. The World Happiness Report (WHR) is made by the United Nations Sustainable Solution Network. Human development is proceed and at the same time a result focusing on the result wide possible to choose. It can be defined the easiest way process to explain the position. Everyday human being making a series of economic, social, political and cultural choice. The ultimate goal of human development is not create a generate wealth and achievement gather economic growth, but the expansion of choose every human being. Main area focus in WHR. Number three, discuss the green account approach in sustainable development. All nations making effort to build a green economy with significant human well-being, social equality to the reduce environmental risk and ecological accuracy. The concept of green account considers the environment demands that is caused by the activities to humankind, but is not included to traditional account system. Herman delay economic two principle SD well harvest rates must equal to lower than recognized rather than sustainable yield. The waste emission rate must be equal to lower than natural assimilability capacity of the ecosystem in which they are emitted. Example Indian response to the implementation of sustainable development goals. India has also alleged itself SDGs follow the holistic approach, that is the integrated approach, so called triple bond line approach towards them. Through consist growth and social includes innovative, India has been able to reduce poverty, improve education level, aggressively expand basic infrastructure capacity, converse on rich biodiversity, and build partnership of sustained development. Poverty monetization and multi-dimensional has fallen considerably recent years. Health industry covered programs covering 500 million people have been successful rollout. Over 100 million household toilet has been built since October 2014. All over the villages are over 99% of household electric field. Our forest cover between assessment 2019 to 2019 has increased. India Technical Assistance Program reached 116 countries across the world. We had to jump 79 place in World Bank AC doing to business ranking of countries in the past 5 years. Movie 142 in 2014, 63 in 2019, Jolie in France, India facility formation, the International Solar Alliance bring to the countries that are well positioned to invest aggressively in solar energy. Conclusion.